do a talk on a subject that I don't know yet, so we'll try to think of something real quick. Let's give a talk on leaves. Leaves are a way for an organism to get energy from the sun. They take, there's actually a lot that leaves do. They take in photons that hit the green leaves, and inside of that, the leaves hit the chlorophyll, and the photons go into the electron transport chain. And that causes the photosynthesis reaction to happen, so they can generate energy from photons. And it's kind of like this big water wheel that happens with these photons kind of spinning this chemical reaction. It's been a long time since I've looked at the actual pathways, but there has been some literature that's come out that there's a lot of quantum processes involved in this too. So the quantum realm helps leaves grow. In addition to collecting energy, the leaves can collect moisture on the leaf. So when it rains, water can come and beat up on the leaf and collect. And that's good for the plant to regulate its water levels, and leaves also provide shade for the plant and for other plants. So if you're a plant that's high above everyone in the forest, you're providing shade for plants of your own species and other species. Leaves can provide food to caterpillars, right? Caterpillars will be on the plant and they'll be munching away, and the leaf can get munched, and it can trigger chemical reactions that can cause the plant to, I think, administer some type of anti-pest, things like that. Leaves can also be grafted, right? I guess that'd be more of a branch, but you can take a little shoot off and graft it, I think, if it's further down long enough to the rest of the tree. Maybe that's a side step off, but so those are all the physical things I can think of that leaves actually do in a environmental system, right? Why they are there for the plant. Thinking about it as the lungs of the earth, right, where it takes in, I guess this would be more of the plant as a whole. I can view the plant as a set of lungs for the earth, where they take in CO2 and store it as carbon in the plant and create oxygen, which allows us to breathe. So you can almost view the leaves as little alveoli, which are the little sacs in our lungs that help the oxygen exchange. And that's what a plant is doing for the environment around us and the leaves. So, yeah, those are all the things a leaf can do. Then we can think about other things a leaf might want to do, right? In storybooks, you can use a leaf floating through the air and landing on a pond and It can be a boat for an insect or some sort of character that's crossing some abyss in a storybook name, something like that. And leaves falling to the ground signify change in autumn. So leaves kind of indicate what season we're in and the changing that happens. They're kind of like antennae for the seasons changing and maybe for our mindset. Now I'm in Hawaii right now, and I don't get the season, I don't get the autumn change as much. There's certain flowers that bloom, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to know about all the different flowers that bloom and where they're at. I can see some of them, but I don't know all the names. And in other places, like Colorado, you have, it's very pronounced up in Aspen or something like that, where the leaves are changing and you have all these amazing colors, or Autumn in New York, right, that famous jazz song. And all that's indicated by leaves changing. So they give us energy, they tell us, they give things food, they tell us about change. You can be used as vehicles for movement if you're a little baby insect or whatever. And yeah, thinking about like an archetypal leaf, what that means, it's connected to growth. When you think about leaves, you could think about marijuana leaves too. So there's this whole subculture of marijuana leaves, and there's Canadian leaves, the maple leaf. So leaves have a lot of resonance in marijuana and Canadian things. So, yeah, that's great. When I think of a leaf, I think of the stereotypical oval shape, and it feels feminine to me, right? The curves bend out. But there's some leaves that cut, right? And there's some ants that are leaf cutter ants that cut leaves and gather them, and their whole life is to store leaves and get the sugars out of them for their nest and use it as food. But I think of leaves as feminine, based on the shape. And it's connected to growth. Like if I saw someone drew a picture of a leaf, I would say, okay, we're talking about nature, we're talking about growth. Leaves are connected to trees, not as much as seeds are for new beginnings. I think seeds are probably more towards that. Leaves, I would say, are motherly, right? They can provide shade, they protect you from the sun, they can get energy from the sun, they can store water, they can provide water. They kind of go with the breeze, they go wherever the breeze takes them. They can travel too, they can fall down and spin around and go where the wind takes them. But usually that's not connected to the rest of the tree, and it's a dying, right? The leaf is fallen and is not connected to the rest of the plant. Certain leaves, I would say, I guess this would be more petals, but can attract insects. And I think probably leaves do that to a certain extent too, but maybe more for flowering and insects that are going to flowering plants. think so. The symbolism of leaves are that it's motherly, it's green, it can change, it's protection. But thinking about what's happening underneath everything, it's a way to collect energy and protect from sunlight. And it collects energy in a way that we can't reproduce yet through photosynthesis. We're not as efficient as leaves are yet. So nature has its secrets still, which is good. So yeah, that was a good inspired talk on leaves. Everything I can think about leaves, I will leave you at that.